like that shark.
Thanks. I mean, that's a funny story about that. My ex-girlfriend got it for me, and I love sharks. And it's the one thing that she gave me of hers that I actually kept because I think it's a really cool painting. Not that she gave me that much stuff anyway, but I did keep that because I thought it was neat. I think it's a good good painting. So it came with me here when I moved to Arizona. I realized I didn't give you a tour of the place. We can do that when we're done, though.
Yeah, we can do it when we're done.
There's not much to look at. It's basically a bedroom and a closet.
But anyway, okay, we're on. So, what's up, guys? Welcome to the new episode of Icebreaker Gospel Teahouse, and today I'm having Mr. Jawline, my coworker here. His name is Sim, and he always complained to me like, Jin, you always saying you're gonna invite me to your podcast, but you never actually do it. So I was like, I'm the kind of person I keep my promise. So today we're doing it, and Happy New Year to everyone. And
Happy New Year to you, Jen. We are enjoying some fine craft beers here.
Yep.
And by that I mean Coors Lights. So it's a good Friday afternoon.
Oh, I actually want to appreciate you about one thing.
Please.
Like, you invited me to Dark Side.
I did.
And then, and I was sitting at home after thinking about this. I was like, you know what, like, sometimes God will just give you a way to do the things you want to do. And, just like 3 years ago, I was thinking about, hey, I want to do podcast.
Yeah.
Right. And then, but I couldn't find the right person to do it. And then last year, I got Wesley. I met Wesley at ASU, and then I was like, hey, I was born in the comedy capital of China. And I was like, I got something in my head, and then you brought me to Dark Side. It's just perfect. And when I talk with my my church brothers, I was like, hey, like now I think the best way, sometimes when you want to spread the gospel, like comedy is the best way. When people are so divided, you can bring people together.
Just to be clear, A Dark Side is a stand-up comedy show that one of our friends puts on. Yeah. I was performing in it, and Jin had some liquid courage and decided to go up there as well too. And for a first show, it was pretty good. Like everyone was laughing so hard. One guy's head exploded. But yeah, I did think that you did very well.
Thank you, man. And next time we're gonna try to bring Dion to here.
Okay.
Yeah, like then we can have a 3-person podcast.
Only if he brings his guitar.
Oh yeah.
But anyhow,
and it's right.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue.
But I mean, since you're always interested in Asia or China or whatever, what kind of question do you have in your heart? You have the pass today. You ask whatever you want to ask.
About China or about
China, about whatever.
About Asia specifically.
Asia, China.
Well,
yeah. So
first, in context, I've only been there one time. I was in Thailand. My brother was living in Thailand on an island called Koh Tao, working in a dive shop, teaching scuba diving to tourists. And so he was there, and this was 2018-19. 2018. He basically just graduated college and said, I don't want to get a job right away. I want to move to Thailand. And so he did that and got paid under the table to work in a dive shop for 2 years. Okay. And I went and visited him there for my birthday in 2019. So this was a while ago. Yeah. I had one night in Bangkok, which became my favorite city overnight. I thought the juxtaposition was very cool. I thought the culture was very cool. I mean, you'll walk down one street and they'll have people soliciting sex on the sidewalk, and then you'll turn the corner and there'll be a Buddhist temple and everyone's really quiet and respectful and they take their shoes off. But anyway, that's the only time I've ever really spent any time in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
But for you specifically,
Mm-hmm.
I was curious about how
Mm-hmm.
you came into Christianity from being in the environment of China, because as far as I know, that's a pretty atheist country.
Yeah, it's atheist country, but it's also hypocrite. So, for example,
Yeah.
um, lots of American will ask me, "Hey, is China a Buddhist country or Taoism country?" And when I get this kind of question, I was always like, any religious in China, anything you can see on the table,
Yeah.
it's not real.
Hmm.
Like it has already been mixed with the I call it communist culture,
Okay.
which is it's not real religious anymore, but no matter what, people will need something in their heart. So you will see the government officials; they will still go to the Buddhist temple or the Taoism, temple or whatever other places. But the local religious in China is so-called Taoism and Buddhism, um, but Christianity is always under the oppression from the government because they're afraid of the kind of not really power, but I mean the kind of connection that a church can really create. Yeah.
And China's obviously not a democracy, so
No.
the government doesn't really like having the people do stuff like that because
Mhm.
they don't want them to have much of a say in
Yeah.
anything.
So well, you can definitely see church in China. You can
Mhm.
definitely see churches in China, but there is a kind of church which is registered with the government, and they will be like, they have cameras in the church,
Okay.
and on the service on Sunday, there are government officials in that church monitoring what are you preaching.
Okay.
And the content of the preach also need to be filtered before you actually do the service.
Okay, so how
Yeah.
much freedom of speech and freedom of religion is there in the country?
What is freedom? Nothing. Well, I would say like basically not. Well, to me, I'm the kind of person if I cannot say whatever I want to say, then there's no freedom. I will not do like from 0 to 10 is 2. No, I think it's just 0. It's either 0 or 10.
Right. I would say in this country
Mm-hmm.
we have freedom of speech so long as you're not
Mm-hmm.
saying anything defamatory or inciting violence or things like that.
Yeah.
And in China, there's more restrictions on it than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot. But if you ask me like how was my journey looks like.
Yeah. With you coming into Christianity, how did that look for you? Like, what's your story of how that came about growing up in that environment?
No, it's like so. I mean, of course, I'm Christian and you're a Christian, so we're talking from Christian viewpoint, right? So to me, it's like when you are a kid in China, when you were a kid, and when you go to school every day, and the teacher keep telling you, there's no God, like communism is the way of human being. They're lying. They're definitely lying because as long as you read even one page of Chinese history, they're lying. But meanwhile, you also need things in your heart, right? So you will have the kind of emptiness since you were in elementary school to high school all the time. And then I came here, and the first week when I arrived at ASU,
Yeah.
I went to an ASU office to either deliver some document or pick up some document. I don't remember, but there was a white guy, white like you.
There's a lot of white guys at ASU.
Yeah. And he was sitting on a bench outside of the office.
Okay.
And his name is Armin, so you know he's from Eastern Europe. And he suddenly starts speaking Mandarin. It was like, 你想交个朋友吗? Which is, do you want to make a friend? To a Chinese guy, to me, I was like, huh? What is going on?
Yeah.
Right? Like a 6 feet tall white guy suddenly speaking Mandarin. And then he started bringing me to different churches in Tempe and Mesa and Chandler.
Okay.
But, in some churches, I mean, this kind of problem actually exists in any churches in America, which is like, it's kind of closed circle, right? So people don't really talk with me, but I'm not blaming other people. I'm saying for Chinese, you have a language barrier, for sure.
Yes.
Right? And then when you go to a church full of American, at first, it's hard for me to understand preaching. It's hard for me to, have a deep conversation with people. So I just go to church with Armin randomly. And then I got some health issue. And I stopped going to church randomly with him for about a year, I think.
How good was your English at this point?
At this point?
Yeah.
Or back then?
Back then. Sorry, back then, yeah. But at this point, like when you were...
Back
you
then,
said it was hard for you to understand what...
Back then, that probably sounds like Jackie Chan. Yeah.
So great.
But it's not...
Yeah.
But it was not good enough to listen to the preaching in the church.
I have heard that it's very difficult for an English speaker to learn Mandarin and vice versa.
It is.
Because the grammar is so different.
Yeah, it's so different.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me is, I stopped going to church for a while, and then I came back. And I found, all the other people I know, actually they left from my life. And then Armin was still there. And Armin was a super nerdy person.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it in a bad way, I'm also a nerdy person. And then we just keep talking. I know him since I came to the US, and I know him for like 10 years now. But back to 2019, COVID happened. 2020 actually, the beginning of 2020. And then my classmate back to ASU, he called me, he said, hey man, like my grandpa passed away because of COVID.
Okay.
And I felt bad because I didn't make COVID, but it is from China, right? So I was searching on Google. I was like, hey, where can I find a volunteer opportunity in Arizona? I just want to try to do something to pay back to the community. And then I found a volunteer opportunity in the Lutheran Church in Mesa. And then I met my Bible mentor's wife, because she was also volunteering over there. And she asked me, hey, are you looking for a church? I was like, yeah. I've been to so many churches before, but I never found a church like really fit my spiritual growth, right? And then she brought me to my church, which is the church I go to now, right? And then I just, I had Bible study and fishing trips on Saturday with my Bible mentor all the time, randomly. And then God keep giving me the sign, like, hey, attend more Bible study and get baptized. But I was not ignoring it, but for a student, the life is not easy, and I was in engineering school. And finally, on that one day, I was driving back from Las Vegas, and I was crying. I was like, okay, this is the time. So I got baptized. And then, but for Chinese is when you really dive into the church life, when you can really get used to it, it will be like, oh, there are lots of people, like God put them in your life to guide you. But when I was not used to it, I didn't recognize those signs or those signals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, right, you were more receptive to it once you decided to ingratiate yourself with it and more. I'm curious about how, what the biggest culture shocks were for you coming to the United States from China.
The culture shock.
Yeah, Tempe, Arizona is very different than I imagine a lot of cities in China. Because there are cities in China with like 5 million people that most Americans have never heard of.
Yeah.
Like the scale is so much different just in terms of population. But
I mean, how many people we have in Arizona? Like 7 million, right?
I believe you.
Yeah.
It's not that many.
Yeah, about 7 million. But
right.
But in my hometown, in that one city, we have like 13 million people.
Right.
So the biggest culture shock to me was
what is it called again?
Tianjin.
Yeah, I never heard of it. See, I know Beijing, Shanghai, and Wuhan.
Yeah.
And
Wuhan. Yeah, for sure.
Wuhan, and that's it.
Yeah. So the biggest culture shock was people are more friendly, like in general.
Okay. Here in the United States. Here they're more friendly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in general. Because I don't know if you've ever seen the kind of reel on Instagram, like how Slavic people, greeting in their daily life.
Yeah.
Right? How Chinese people greeting in their daily life.
No, I haven't. So how did
like in Arizona, if you smile to somebody on the street, like people will be like, they will smile back to you.
Okay.
But in China, they will be like, what's wrong with this person?
I've heard French people are like that too, and Italians.
French,
they're not very inviting.
Yeah, I mean French people, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I personally know Italian American in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty friendly. But if we really dive deeper into it, is the Chinese government, they don't want you to have any kind of organization in the society.
Right.
Because once you have organization, you can help each other. You can do things for people who need it. Then that will make the government weaker.
Okay.
So that is a very dangerous thing for Chinese government. So after 1949, the Chinese government, well, if you look into the modern Chinese history, what they're keep trying to do is make people only think about themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, they would not be like, hey, do you need some help? Oh,
right.
No, they don't want that happen in the society.
Okay.
Then the government will have 100% authority to everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. So overall, like when I arrived Arizona, I was like, people are more friendly. That was also why the first time Armin said, say hi to me on the campus, I was kind of shocked. I was like,
so it's like people in China, they tend to feel less secure about themselves because of that
Yeah.
looming. Okay, interesting. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Taiwan.
Taiwan.
So I have a very basic understanding of the history. So it was part of Japan, and then in Mao's China, Chiang Kai-shek brought some people over there, and now they love democracy. They're kind of committed to being very different from China in that regard.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about what your thoughts are on that, and because it's pretty interesting here too, because we make a lot of semiconductors in Arizona. They make a lot of semiconductors in China, in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen to that industry if China decides to get more hostile about it?
So let's sort out the history first.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a part of Japan first. Is that
It
right?
was part of Qing Dynasty.
Okay.
So, well, if we really dive really deep, it was part of Qing Dynasty. So back to Ming Dynasty, part of some people from Ming Dynasty moved to Taiwan, which is kind of similar with the situation today.
Right.
And then they remained the Ming Dynasty authority in Taiwan. And then people from Holland colonized Taiwan for a while. And then Qing Dynasty took back Taiwan to be part of the whole Qing Dynasty. And then...
What year was this?
I don't remember exactly, the exact time, but after Qing Dynasty, we had a revolution, right? So which is the KNT, which is, how do you pronounce it? Chiang Kai-shek.
Chiang Kai-shek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his party had a revolution against the Qing Dynasty. So the Qing Dynasty was gone, right? And then we had the Republic of China. Which is Taiwan today. I mean, Taiwan is still Republic of China. But Communist China is People's Republic of China. Yeah. So when you actually look at the name of a country, like when they say it's People's Country, it's not People's Country. So they have to highlight it. Right. So
like People's Republic of Korea is North Korea.
Yeah, the People's Republic of Korea.
And they are not interested in what the people think at all in North Korea.
It's not People's Country.
Right.
So,
Kim Jong-un doesn't care.
The supreme leader. Yeah. And then the World War II happened, and Japan took over Taiwan.
That's right.
Yeah, Japan took over Taiwan, and they ruled Taiwan for a while. Meanwhile, in mainland China, the KNT, which is the Army of Republic of China, were fighting with the Japanese army. Right, and the Communist Party's army was just kind of, keeping their power.
Right.
Yeah, and get benefit for themselves from the muddy water. Yeah, so, and then with the help from the USSR, the Soviet Union, they took over the mainland. So the Republic of China, the KMT government, they must retreat to Taiwan.
Because Mao was very committed to changing China from an agricultural country to this manufacturing powerhouse.
Yeah. And we always make a joke about it. So that was back to 1950 to 1960. So Mao was like, okay, we are not a developed country. So we need to work harder, and we need to reach the level of the United States or the UK.
They wanted to compete with them.
They wanted to compete with
international trade. Right.
Yeah, but we make joke about it. I was like, how many people in that village know where is UK and where is the US?
Yeah.
Nobody know. But people just got dragged into the kind of political movement.
Okay.
And my grandparents they went through that time. And back then, Mao said, "Hey, we need to make lots of steel."
Okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
But no one knew how to do that.
No one know how to do it.
Right.
But they cut off all of the forest they can see, burn it, and try to make some steel. And eventually they got some rockish, useless thing from it. So it's a huge damage for the society, economic wise, or yeah.
So I know that Mao had his red book.
Oh yeah.
What was in that? Was that just his beliefs or his vision for the country? Or I remember learning about that, but I can't remember what the specifics were.
I won't say it's his belief.
Right.
That's what he wrote, and he believed he can control people through it. And I thought about it a lot because I read it. I want to figure out why is this thing so powerful that can brainwash so many people. I read it, and then after I start going to church and listen to preaching, I kind of have a thought, which is Mao replace God's position with himself in the political movement. Like when you read Bible, this is the teaching from Jesus, from God, right? And Mao replaced himself. Mao replaced God with himself in the Little Red Book.
Because that's how he views himself.
Yeah, that's how he viewed himself. And he used that to control people. Well, back then, they tell people with the Little Red Book, as long as you can remember everything, you can use it in your daily life, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So it's like a code. So now you see why I say he replaced God with himself.
Right.
In the Little Red Book to control people. It's a brainwash system. I don't think he believed in that. He is just using it.
Just to control people.
To control people.
Yeah. And how many people died under his?
How many people died? Well, if we briefly do a calculation, if we count all of the political movement since 1949 and the Great Famine back to 1960 to 1961, I believe 50 to 70 million people died because of it. And
because there was no food too.
Yeah, there was no food, but there was no food. Well, till today, the Chinese government is still telling people that, hey, the reason that we had no food is because of the weather.
The weather?
It's because of the environment.
But really, it was because no one was there to
work in the kind of communist farm.
Right.
Yeah.
They were all building steel or aluminum or whatever it was.
Yeah, they were burning everything down.
Yeah.
And the most ridiculous thing is
they forgot to feed themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And the most ridiculous thing was, what do you do after you have the steel? You make knife, the cooking knife, right? The cooking pan, those kind of things.
Right.
But back then, because people are, they were so brainwashed, they took out the cooking pan and the cooking knife from their home, throw it into the pot and to make steel. Which is so ridiculous because when you have steel, you gotta make those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they use it to make steel.
Right.
Yeah.
And then fast forward,
Yeah.
like in the 90s, they really embraced this, or maybe around then, they embraced a very capitalistic market.
Yeah.
But the communist oligarchs wanted to keep a
political
system of, so they kind of wanted to have their cake and eat it too, so to speak.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? Is that it's an American figure of speech?
Wait, you said kicking it.
Have your cake and eat it too. It means. Do you know what that means?
Wait, hold on a second. Slow down.
Have your cake and eat it too.
Oh yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
I wish that expression I never understood. Like, why would you have your cake and not eat it? I don't get it. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You want all the advantages with none of the disadvantages.
Yeah.
And so they start this massive export, just country, and devaluing their currency to make their exports cheaper.
Yeah.
And decades go by and we have a massive trade deficit with China.
Yeah. I also read lots of books in the US when people analyze the Chinese political or the economic system.
Right.
But my opinion is, well, some people say, some scholar in the U.S. say, oh, the Chinese government was really smart, like they embraced the capitalism, and they just want their people to have a better life. But the core logic, the bottom logic of that change was the Chinese government know if we don't change now, we're going to lose power.
Oh.
So all the changes in the People's Republic of China is because the government see, okay, here is the point. If we don't change, we're gonna lose the power. We're gonna be gone. Then they start, okay, release some power from themselves to the people, but just a little.
Okay.
Because back then, 1960, 1970, people don't even have the right to do business in the society. So they give you some kind of card, like, okay, this card is for pork. This card is for the canola oil.
Okay.
For each family, you have 1 pound pork for the whole month. And that's all you can have.
Okay.
Even if you have more money, you don't have the card, you cannot.
You're rationing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was really like Soviet Union.
I'm curious about what does a middle class life look like for someone in China? Like, if you're a middle class Chinese citizen, what does your day-to-day life look like in terms of where do you live? Do you drive a car or not drive a car? And let's go for like urbanness. If you live in a big city in China and you have a middle class life, what does that look like? And how does it compare to a middle class life in the United States?
In the US?
Yeah.
Well, I think it really depends on how much a person values the material stuff.
How do you mean? Because I view myself as being a middle class American. And I'm not naive to the reality that puts me in probably the 95th percentile of humanity in terms of standard of living. But what does it look like in China in terms of what do you own? How much are you struggling? How much are you not struggling? How good is the life relative to how good it is living in Phoenix, Arizona?
From my point of view, is everybody is struggling.
I think that's part of being human. I mean, not to get too existential on you, but I think the idea of being a human being is the idea that you're struggling with something, and we're going to be struggling with things for the rest of our lives, and those things could change. Yeah. But it's all relative. Some struggles are harder than others. But sorry, continue.
Well, I think since I've been here for 10 years, I think that is the most tricky part to explain something about China to American.
Cool.
The most tricky part, because
Do your best right now. I'm dying to hear it.
I'm gonna try my best.
Yes.
So for middle class, you're living in an apartment. Are you feeling safe, secure?
Safe, like I'm not gonna get killed, or safe, like how do you mean?
I mean, mentally, do you feel secure when you're living in this apartment, and do you feel your life is doing okay?
It's a bit of a vague question, but yes, I believe I'm doing
Yeah.
okay, and no, I don't feel any kind of physical threat.
Physical threat,
yeah.
And spiritually, do you feel okay?
I would say yes, although it depends on the day.
Right? Yeah. But so if the U.S. government say, "Hey, Sam, you did something wrong, and we're gonna fine you, and you can fight it on the court, right? If you don't think it's reasonable." But in China, it's like if they want to fine you, they fine you anytime.
Yeah.
So what I always say to my American friend is, no matter how much money you have in China, you don't feel safe.
Okay.
And this opinion is based on you don't have any different opinion with the government. You're just living like a goofy person, and just being very flexible with things are happening in the society. You still don't feel safe.
You have to be very careful about what you say. And
About
what
what you say.
Right.
And what you do. And if you go to church, if you really have a spiritual need, then that's going to be a totally different story. But those stories are buried under the propaganda from China.
Yeah.
You never heard about, hey, what is a life in China being a Christian like? You never really hear about it.
I certainly haven't.
You're right. I also don't really hear about it. You don't really see it on the news.
No.
Right? Unless sometime you will see the news will be like, the Chinese government raid a church.
Yeah.
When they brought people out from the church and giving them trouble and prosecute them. But that's mainly like on the Chinese news.
What exactly are they being charged with? Like, what is the crime that?
The crime changed by the time passed.
Okay.
So when we didn't have internet, they would be like, it's illegal church or unregistered church. And now with internet, everything, they would be like, oh, you are illegally using the internet to spread some information you shouldn't spread. So it changed all the time. As long as they can control you.
Yeah.
They use whatever they want to use. Yeah. So being a middle class in China, it really depends on what kind of person you are.
Okay.
Yeah, like what is your need? If you are just like, hey, as long as I have something to eat, I don't care about any spiritual growth or any spiritual thing. You can live okay, but you will not be happy.
So by appearances, a middle class life looks pretty good there. I mean, you have a place to live, you have food to eat, you have things to entertain you, you don't feel like you have any physical threat to you. However, your ability to be yourself and speak freely and take risks is hindered.
The physical, well, some people will be like, hey, I'm I am happy, living this middle class life, but I believe in the bottom of their heart, they don't feel 100% secure.
Okay.
They don't, because no matter how much money you have, I'm not a material person, but the reality is no matter how much money you have, um, something will happen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the hospital, if you go to clinic, hey, what if the doctor tell you you're gonna have cancer? Well, what if the doctor tell you you have cancer? Then there's no system to support you. Like, people always complain about the medical system in the U.S.
Right.
I mean, there is problem for sure, but people haven't seen the medical system in China yet. Yeah.
What do you miss most about being there?
What do I miss?
Yeah.
I miss my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in a vacuum, like because I miss my family too. They're not around.
Yeah.
But what do you miss the most about that place specifically, as opposed to the people that are there?
I miss the kind people. I mean the kindness from people. I'm not saying like there is no kind people in China. There are kind people anywhere, and I miss the kind of kindness from strangers
In China.
in China.
Yeah.
So that is also why, like, when people are selling the point like, oh, like Christianity doesn't fit Chinese people, I was like, no. Like, it's above the nationality and culture, but some propaganda system people, from China, they would be like, oh, it's a foreign religious, so it's not for us. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I don't really miss the food because I can cook it myself, right? But I do miss the kindness from people.
Okay.
But you can have the kind of kindness from anybody from anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What specifically about China do you long for, if anything?
If anything, the true Chinese culture from China, but we don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Because the system will actually ruin everything. The Cultural Revolution. Cultural Revolution, like, Mao said, "Oh, we need to destroy the old things, the bad things from our culture," but he didn't even know what is the good part or bad part of Chinese culture. He just want to give people a reason to fight each other, because when people fight each other, he can sit in the room and just pretend he is God.
Right. It reminds me of what's going on in this country right now. Immigration is a big topic right now in the United States, and you talk about Chinese culture. I think about American culture, and what really is American culture. I think one of my favorite things about the United States is how many different kinds of people we have here. There's a lot of different influences and different types of people and customs and so forth. And I think that makes it more of an interesting place to live. Is there a threshold where it becomes too much and there's going to be tension because of that? Maybe. But I think that's one of my favorite things about this country is just how the variety that we do have.
I mean, to me is I always evaluate things from my personal experience. Like to me, I've been here 10 years,
Yeah.
and I learn things from all different kind of people. I don't care if they're white, they're black, they're Latino, they're Asian, they're whatever. I learn things from people.
Right.
Right. And in China is like the system truly wants you to only care about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But back then I was like, no, when you only care about yourself, it's not gonna work out.
Okay.
It's definitely not gonna work out. And then after I started going to church, I was like, okay, so now I have something can guide me in this spiritual path. And I was like, oh yeah, so you need to love your neighbor, right? When you're loving your neighbor, actually you are actually loving yourself. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to know about different culture and to try different food. Spiritual wise, I had a spiritual guide from lots of people from my church. I mean, even from people are not part of my church.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if you remember Uncle Charlie still.
I think so.
Right. He is Italian American, and he's Catholic. Right. And I also learned lots of things from him. So, yeah, but in China you can never have this kind of support, like spiritual support from the society, because since the government control all of the social media,
people are afraid of taking those kind of risks.
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to take that risk, it's not guaranteed you can really spread the information.
Right.
Right. So for example, you post something on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then on your side, on your end, you say, "Oh, I posted it," but I'm your friend on Facebook, but I cannot see it. That's how social media work in China. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, they can block it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you thought you sent it out, but no, you didn't.
Right.
You're the only person can see it.
Yeah, it's like our social media sites a platform, or are they editors? That's
Yeah. So, but meanwhile, the propaganda machine from China is also very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful. I don't watch Chinese TV show for 7-8 years, I think.
Okay.
Because the director, the actor, those actors, they don't have freedom.
Okay.
When they do their job. So when they don't have freedom to do their job, that means their the TV show or the movie will also become a part of the propaganda machine. But sometimes you probably don't really feel it. You don't really see it.
Yeah.
But it's still part of the propaganda system.
There's not a lot of creative liberties they can take.
Yeah. So all the show from China, it must be censored by the government first.
Right.
So lots of Americans don't know it, but there is a department in China. They're in charge of it.
Well, that's why India is the world's largest democracy, has a thriving film scene, and China could, but they don't.
India.
Yeah, with Bollywood.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know too much about.
It's all relative, yeah.
The Indian movie, but
yeah.
Yeah, but in China, everything needs to be filtered and censored before you can actually see it. So only the kind of content that promote the information that Chinese government like can be released to the market.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's why I don't watch it, is because it can brainwash you slowly.
Yeah.
You don't even feel it.
You're kind of being groomed, so to speak.
I'm spiritually happy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm certainly
Mhm.
happy that you're doing well with that now, and that you're asking the right questions.
I was enjoying the Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
What are your favorite things about American culture, whatever that is?
favorite thing,
Yeah.
freedom of speech.
Mhm.
No matter what you say, no matter what I say, I have the right to don't agree with you. Right? You have the right to
Mhm.
don't agree with me, but we can still talk. And I always tell my friend, I was like, what is the society in China look like? It's like a pressure cooker,
Yeah.
and the hot air, the heated air, got no way out.
Right.
Someday it will explode,
Okay.
but you never know when. I was like, that's why the freedom of speech is so important. And when my American friend fight each other over a different opinion, I was like, well, at least you can have different opinion, right? You're not in China or North Korea,
Right.
right? Yeah, in North Korea, everybody is so happy on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
right? In China, it's basically the same thing, but when actually,
You got North Korea and Western North Korea.
yeah, and Western North Korea, but now you cannot say Western North Korea anymore on the Chinese social media. It's a very sensitive word now.
Okay.
But they have a system; they filter everything.
Wow.
If you post something on Chinese social media, say, "Oh, the Western North Korea, blah blah blah,"
Wow.
your account probably gonna disappear on the second day,
Okay.
or maybe the same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, if we talk about that kind of technology, Chinese is the best. They censor everything. Yeah. Or you post a picture, they'll be like, "Oh, this is you, and that is your uncle's cousin's wife." You know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where does this go?
Where it is.
Yeah. Where does this go? Like, what is there?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But what I'm pretty sure is we can have some really good Chinese food tonight.
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah.
That's the best. Americans love Chinese food. So can we go eat some of that? I'm getting hungry.
American Chinese food or real Chinese food?
You tell me. You're the expert, as we learned tonight.
I tell you. I will tell you.
Okay, let's do it.
I will tell you. But anyway, guys, so this is our new guest, Sam, and you guys will see him more often in the future. And by the way, he's a comedian.
Try to.
No, you're a comedian. Well, I like your jokes. And he made me also go on the comedian path, and I really appreciate that.
Go see him live. Go do it.
Yeah, go to Tempe Improv and Dark Side. I believe that is a really good way to spread gospel or just heal the society. But anyway, see you guys next time, and Happy New Year again.